Timelines hotfix is finally here, and I cannot explain how happy I am that this happened. I'm happy that Riot is not scared of doing these things, and I'm so happy that Open is not gonna be just about timelines. But today we're gonna look at the best rank ladder decks, and that's kind of different than tournament, of course. But there was a lot of winners because even though timelines were very dominant in tournament, they were also very dominant on ladder. So let's look at it. One of the biggest winners of this hotfix is by far Anika. When we even look at the matchups that I have prepared here, timelines, 33-5 minute matchup, 36, 39 matchup. This deck was struggling so much into timelines because how fast they were able, how they can get tough weapon, and like tag keyword is something that is very good into this deck. So that's something that this deck is so happy about, and it's finally back and it's showing so much promise. Maybe not only for a ladder, but also maybe for open lineup. If you don't know about this deck, this is all about tie bulk plus condense. Of course, you can also combine both Alu, Broadmain, even Cockroaches with the condense. It's like mostly about the condense card because this card is very good addition to this archetype. That was kind of back in the time even playable, but now it's stronger than ever. And especially with the timelines nerf, this is going back to the meta and it's gonna take over. Early game just stabilize, get your Reverend Bloom going, and in the mid game stabilize with the Broadman, win with multiple box, with the infinite value that I have, for example, from Katarina. This deck is so good. It's gonna revert if you learn it. It's not that as easy to play, but if you're gonna learn it, it's gonna revert you a lot. So let's look at the second deck. And this list is so long that I cannot even fit it, so it's visible. This is the classic Samira, Seraphine, Ezreal, Plaza Guardian, all in on going for the Plaza Guardians, multiple Plaza Guardians like 10-7, 10-6. Also, as we look at the stats, Timeline's one of the worst matchups, Timeline's one of the worst matchup, and Timeline's one of the worst matchups. This deck got so much better because Timelines are gone. This deck is so consistent at what it's doing. If you don't know what this deck is doing, is that you try to, stabilize your board, not take that much damage early, and turn 6, turn 7, you go crazy. You play Seraphine, you play your 0-mana Plaza Guardian, you shuffle more, you get more in with Blood of Blood, you with Improvement, you draw more with the 2-mana Legionary Charge, and how consistent this deck is something that I was kind of surprised when I personally played it. Something that I'm even considering for open a lot, but I think it's also amazing ladder deck because how strong it is and how consistent it is at what it's doing. Because the deck is a lot of spells, but also a lot of spells that draw your card, right? It's a lot of Drum Solo Formula, Time Drake, Umash, you're getting very consistent to do things. Sometimes you can struggle if you, for example, don't find your Seraphine, but otherwise it's so good. And also the combination of Seraphine and Samira is so strong. You just need 3 new spells, and you just rally, and that's so stupid. Especially also with Plaza Guardians, it costs 0 mana, so it doesn't cost you anything. This deck is so strong, I would definitely recommend it playing. By asking what is going on, but yeah, it is Jax Ornn. Jax Ornn just crashing the entire meta now. This deck is putting such a numbers that I haven't seen in a while, and I didn't expect this from Leader Ornn. The champion that was such a meme, as well as Jax was kind of a meme for so long, but honestly, Ornn is a real win con. I talked about it in the timelines video. That is not much, because they get already know, but I've talked about it. Ornn is actually a win con. It's so good in this meta, and it's just ending the game. He's so easy to level up even, and if he's coming leveled, he's just pushing so much damage on the turn 7. This deck is so good, and especially why in standard I don't think Jax Ornn is that good is because in Eternal you have Heartblood Mender. One of the best cards in the game, let's be honest. It's a 5-mana 6/7 that heals your unit and Nexus 3. And this unit is the reason why this deck is so good. Otherwise, you just go for a curve, you try to, get the curve, stabilize your board, push some damage, and then end the game with Ornn or with Big Jack. You also have very powerful spells with the Jax nowadays because he got added Fish Fight into his region, so you have so premium way how to kill enemy board with Fish Fight and Enhancing Claw. this deck is definitely something to try and something to keep an eye on even for open. The last deck is Nasus. I think everybody kind of knows him. This deck is so powerful. People try to counter it, but they still keep losing it to it. This deck is something to stay, something to consider even for your open lineup, something to climb the rank ladder with. Because this deck, as said, people try to counter with the Noxus deck, as we showed earlier, with the Rise decks. But this deck, even though, you know, sometimes it has just the curve and nothing can deal with it. Also, it just destroys any aggressive deck. It destroys so much Sion, like Sion cannot do anything about this deck. Definitely the deck to consider a set for open, consider for ladder, because this deck is just strong. It's stealing games, and it's gonna be that way. You're gonna be losing to it even though you try to counter it. This deck is very good, so something to keep your eye on. Am I something? Someone to just add on that I'm so happy that Terra decided to hotfix the timelines. I was so scared that we're gonna have two opens dominated by timelines, and I'm so happy that they doing what they promised, that they're gonna be doing more hotfixes, and this is something that just making everyone experience kind of better. Of course, it's gonna be kind of stressful to prepare for an open now, but you know everyone is on the same starting line, so you know it's gonna be also interesting. I'm really looking forward for this open. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.